The only thing I plan on doing when I come up here is to end the show in a certain way. And I would like to tell a quick story about my mother. My mother passed years ago. It wasn't my fault. She was a grade 1 teacher in the 70s, and back then you had to repeat classes. You know, if you couldn't read at the end of grade 1, you repeated grade 1. And, you know, they don't do that anymore. Now you can't read at the grade 1, you send it to grade 2, grade 8, Ryerson Journalism School. You know, it's fine, right? Just off you go, right? It doesn't matter. But back then, they cared enough to keep you back, right? So my mom had to keep a kid back at the end of grade 1, and she called the parents to tell them, and they were sad, and they cried a little, and they said, could you do it without making his feelings hurt? And Mom said, of course I can do that. So here's how my mom had a kid fail grade 1, and I think it's quite touching. It's a true story. She goes, gets all the 27 kids on the rug at the end of the last day of June, you know, when it's 25 degrees in there, and these little kids, and they said, did you have a fun year? And they went, oh, Mrs. Kelly, we love you, we had a great year. And she said, are you excited for grade 2? And I said, oh, Mrs. Kelly, grade 2 is going to be so good. She said, I just went and talked to the kindergartens, and they're afraid to come to grade 1. Isn't that silly? And they're like, oh, that's silly, Mrs. Kelly, this is the best class. She goes, you know what would help next year's grade 1s? What if one of you stayed with me and helped next year's grade 1s? 27 kids, I'll do it, Mrs. Kelly, me. And she picked the little guy who had to fail grade 1, you know? That kid walked out of grade 1 a hero, you know? Like, they were like patting him on the back. That guy woke up 25 years later and went, I failed grade 1, you know? But the point is, you know, sometimes we're, we have to do things for the good of each other. Sometimes we have to break hearts. Sometimes we have to fire people. Sometimes we have to hire people. Sometimes we have to cut people out of our lives. But we got to do it with kindness. I think we can do it a lot better. And I hope, although I busted all your balls, I hope I did it with some kindness and love, because I love you all. My name is Liam Kelly. Thank you so much. You guys just stand up.
So I am that kid that failed grade 1, just so you know.